Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. So many times I've been asked in the past, what is the difference between geometric and algebraic measure? And in my free ebook, which I'll show you over here, um, I tell you the difference. In geometry, the measurement is conducted using a physical unit and or parts of a physical unit. And in algebra, using an abstract unit and or parts of an abstract unit. So how does this work? Okay, so in geometry, if we have this part here and we want to measure the red part, it's just simply we do this, which means one of these, and then we'll need another one of those like that, which is that one there, and a little bit like you see over here, right? There's a little bit here to complete the measure, because that means we can just complete the measure like that. Okay, so that would be the measure of the red line by the blue line. Okay, now in algebra, things change because we want to be more precise about what we mean by measure. So supposing we divided our little line segment here into two parts. One, two. Let's see here. One and two parts, right? And we used this to measure both parts of these line segments. So this little part here would measure the red line segment as 1, 2, 3, 4, and half of itself, right? As you can see there, okay, half of itself. That would be when we divide this line segment into two parts, okay. We're still using the unit, but a certain number of equal parts of the unit to measure the red line. Now, if it's divided into in let's say 4 parts, you can divide into any number of parts you like, by the way. It doesn't matter. What this means is that you're going to use this entire thing, 1, like that, 2, and a little bit again, to measure the red line, right? Okay, and this little part here measures this extra little bit. And what is it exactly? It turns out to be 1/4, right? It's 1/4 of this line, right? So it doesn't matter how many units, how many equal parts you divide this section into, because in algebra, when you measure, you use the abstract unit and equal parts of the same abstract unit, okay? So now what about if you're just using the unit? Well, the unit turns out to be the same as what you're doing in geometry. This becomes a unit, right? It's just like 1, right? So 1, 2, and this little bit left over. But it doesn't tell you how much this little bit left over is. Okay, so algebra wants to be more precise. It wants to be more exact. It wants to know exactly how many equal parts are in each of these, so that when you say the length of this red line divided by the length of the blue line, you have almost an exact number. You can't do it in all cases because there are numbers that can't be, there are ratios that can't be measured. Okay, in other words, line segments that can't be measured, as I've shown you before in many YouTube videos. So that is the difference, and what I'd recommend you do is you download a copy of my free ebook. It's got a watermark, but you can get the one without a watermark if you go to my Kindle. Okay, so this is the one with a watermark. Okay, and on Amazon you will find one without a watermark. Okay, so let's go to Amazon Kindle, and you'll see over here that this, the importance of learning, this one here, it's only $9.99, does not have a watermark. All right, so if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, become a subscriber. Follow me on Academia.edu, where I'll write plentiful articles, and also join my members only for €4.99 a month. That way you can support me and my efforts in order to help you to revise the flawed mainstream mathematics to learn the new calculus and to learn the right way of doing mathematics. I'm John Gabriel, and this is New Calculus Channel.